With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If you love hurricanes, daiquiris, and, well, any rum cocktail, listen up. Captain Morgan's about to shake things up like never before. We're talking Bourbon Street, New Orleans, home to legendary drinks and unforgettable moments. But what if we told you the most iconic cocktails here have one thing in common? Hint, it's not bourbon. That's right, it's rum. And Captain Morgan is bringing unforgettable fun to Bourbon Street in a way you won't want to miss. Get ready for something big as we gear up for Super Bowl 59. Make sure to keep your eyes on NOLA's most iconic street. Who knows? Bourbon Street might just need a new name. Stay tuned for clues and get ready for the most legendary adventure yet. Please drink responsibly. Captain Morgan Original Spice Rum, 35% alcohol by volume. Captain Morgan Rum Company, New York, New York.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And did you know that Jurassic Park/World has now spanned more than 30 years as a franchise? And the 7th movie across those 31 years actually will be out this July, Jurassic World Rebirth. Just dropped a trailer. It's starring Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and it just says to me, well, this is pretty much a Marvel movie, but just see me like, and I'm thinking like, am I willing to trust another Jurassic whatever movie? I walked out of the last one because they were loud ass kids, and 2, it was a silly movie up until that point. The first 40 minutes, it was just bad. Look, as much as I wanted to see Laura Dern and Sam Neill from the original cast joining the new trilogy, it was just bad. And I don't know, even with the right cast, could they tell the right story? How many times can dinosaurs go wild for some reason and eat 12 people at a time? I don't know. I think I've seen that movie enough times to know that anytime you try to corral dinosaurs, they kill everyone.
It's going to go bad.
They kill everyone with the exception of 1 or 2 protagonists. Some of the protagonists have to die.
This kind of reminds me of your point with Squid Game, which I thought was fantastic. But because it's like, how do you recreate the same magic from the first one? Because it's just the same thing over and over again.
Well, part of it is the same magic doesn't really apply to someone under 30. They're probably only emotionally invested in the newer trilogy with Chris Pratt. Me, since I've seen all the movies, and I know all the connectivity between them and the different threads and storylines, there's nothing new. There's nothing magical anymore. Every single movie, there's some idea of a new, badder, meaner, longer toothed dinosaur that they've created just for that movie. Every single movie, there's a new and improved baddie.
But I watched this trailer this morning, and I can tell you, they have quadrupled down on what you just said.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place.
Where?
Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
We go towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Do we have to get a sample from an egg? I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst were left here.
I think you get the general idea. Look, every time somebody is trying to illegally monetize the dinosaurs somehow, every single movie, Wayne Knight's character in the very first one, doing the computer stuff, trying to offload and sell the dinosaur. Every single movie, someone is trying to profit off the dinosaurs, and then it all goes to hell. People get eaten, they die horribly, and they say if this ever gets out, the world wouldn't be able to handle it. Now they're out, and they're still doing the same thing. It's the same old tired story.
I love the fact that in this one, instead of having a dangerous new dinosaur, they say, no, we're taking you to the island where the worst of the worst go, as if this is like the Suicide Squad island or something. They've got all the bad dinosaurs there all together. They've got velociraptors, they've got tyrannosauruses, they've got pterodactyls, they've got them all. And they all manage to just stay in this one dangerous dinosaur badlands.
And no one ever thought to raid that island in trying to profiteer for all the dinosaurs. This one island, La Isla de Muerto, whatever they call it. This one island has been pretty much untouched, uncolonized.
Because the bad dinosaurs are there to keep all of the would-be poachers away.
And 4 humans with no superpowers are going to go to this island and somehow abscond with all the DNA of the super baddies.
You can almost literally apply that trailer to any of them. Because especially
same movie.
I love that line, like the safety, like that hasn't been told every single time.
Yeah. We'll keep you safe.
More or less.
Okay. Yeah. Jeff Goldblum asked that same question in one of the Jurassic Park movies. I mean, when he was trying to protect his daughter and everything, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, And I liked seeing Dr. Ian Malcolm in the last movie when he was testifying before Congress. Those are like full circle moments, and you get to see an update with the characters. But this movie can't even offer that, and unless there is a cameo by Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard,
there has to be. It's set in the exact same world. It's not disconnected. It is set within the exact same world, and it's just saying, hey, we didn't go to the research. That's why they said this is the research facility that's part of the Chris Pratt Island. So all the bad dinosaurs that escaped from the Chris Pratt Island, they're all on this one.
I thought this was from the research facility for the amusement park, the original amusement park.
No. This is the research facility for that island that they tried to have when Chris Pratt went and it all went to hell.
Okay, so that means Chris Pratt cameo. He'll be asleep in his trailer, and they'll call him and say, Owen, we need you to come save some people. He says, no, I won't do it. Owen, they need you. And probably Scarlett Johansson's character will have some sort of long ago dating history with Chris Pratt's character, so he'll feel compelled to come and save her or something.
Well, that's how you have the sequel, because this is already greenlit for more films. Scarlett Johansson, I think this is a 3-picture deal for her. ScarJo is back. She's back, even though in the trailer, she looks like she's phoning it in.
Oh, she looked tremendously. It's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Oh, yeah, the paycheck. That's why I'm here. It's later with Mo Kelly. But speaking of movies, let's talk about Universal Studios. They're trying to connect with fans with a new after-hours event. We'll tell you about that next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Universal Studios is like Disneyland in respect to how they will use their own properties to fuel events and attractions at the theme park. And last week, Universal Studios Hollywood put tickets on sale for its first Universal Fan Fest nights. Fan Fest. And the details are slowly starting to leak out. But it starts April 25th and it's using its Halloween Horror Nights model to craft this all-new event that focuses on, quote-unquote, Comic-Con style franchises rather than horror and music genres. So if you've ever been to Halloween Horror Nights, they're going to use their own properties to create this after-hours event, but it won't be Halloween stuff. Fans will be able to walk through a Dungeons & Dragons adventure and also to tour the Star Trek's Enterprise D, beaming back to Earth at the end. For some, the highlight might be the Back to the Future destination Hill Valley experience, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. Visitors will take Universal's trams down to the back lot, where they'll be invited to exit into the courthouse square set where the 1985 movie Back to the Future was filmed. And Universal will dress the location as it appeared in the movie on the night when Marty McFly went back to the future. And multiple times a night, it says here that Universal also will simulate a lightning strike on the courthouse's clock to complete the scene. It's kind of cool. Other experiences at the event will include a fan zone themed to the Japanese manga series One Piece, the U.S. premiere of Jujutsu Kaisen, the Hunger of the Curse 4D movie from Universal Studios Japan, and plus experiences in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Super Nintendo World. It all seems pretty interesting. Now, I want to know is like, when you say after hours, is this going to like 2, 3 in the morning, or is it just like 1 a.m.? That's the only thing that it doesn't really say here. But I would do this. I would definitely check it out. I would like to go to Hill Valley, me personally.
I like the attractions, but
here Debbie Downer, everybody, has just entered the studio.
No, look. No,
welcome. Sit on, sit on down, Debbie.
I like what they're offering here because I'm down with some of these anime attractions that they're offering. The whole Hill Valley experience. Yeah, that's cool, but you cannot sit here and look me in my eyes and tell me that Universal Studios is a place that you ever marked down as somewhere you want to go. No. You right now as an adult.
No, but see, I'm not the theme park enthusiast. It took me like 15 years in between Disneyland appearances for me. So I don't know if that's a fair complaint, if only because I'm not the person that they're trying to get anyhow. I wasn't a person who would have ever gone to Halloween Horror Nights. I wouldn't have.
Okay, I hear you on that. But who is this Hill Valley attraction for? Because I can tell you this, my kids do not like or care about Back to the Future. I tried to show it to them and they're like, why are we watching this? This was entertaining to you?
The answer is in the question. It's an after hours event. It's not for the 15 and 16-year-olds.
Okay. Now, after hours event. So again, we're going back to adults.
Right.
You and I both know that if we leave here at 10 o'clock is after hours, you know what we're not doing? We're not saying, man, let's go over to Universal Studios.
Tuwala, we're in our 50s. I said adults, not elderly. There's a difference. Now, give me my rim shot. Give me my G-damn rim shot. I'll wait. Estoy esperando. My point is, the demographic probably is in the 20 to 35 range. Because a lot of times it's about hanging out after hours. You could call this a mall. You could call this a movie theater. It's about hanging out.
That's what I was going to say, because before I turned 21, the cool thing for us to do was go to midnight screenings.
Right.
So I think this is more, not necessarily maybe to Wallace's kids, but it's that age demographic that they're going after, because like, oh, we're staying out past,
I feel you, but I think if that's the case, they should have been focusing more in on the things that attract that demographic. That's why Halloween Horror Nights is so impactful, because they have the weekend attraction. They have the girl that comes out of the television attraction, the ring. Yeah, the ring. They have all those things that I don't care about, but those 20-somethings are still too young for Back to the Future, and they're too old for the anime offerings. I didn't hear anything you listed for that 20 to 30-something-year-old to go to this event.
Oh, the fact that it's at night, it will have liquor, and it'll probably have women there for the guy. I think you're missing the larger point. It's not the attractions. It's about the setting. Look, Halloween horror. Yeah, the ambiance. Halloween Horror Nights. I don't think what I call kids, they're not going there because it's about celebration of horror movies per se. Come on now, you've been there. It's about hanging out and trying to find someone to bump into, if you know what I mean.
Kind of, sort of, but it is also about the attraction of being around other people that are into what you're into. And I'm saying this because as big as Super Mario World may have been when it launched, it's one of those things that's like, I've been to the park. It's not really popping like that.
It's not. It's a limited engagement. I don't know how long it is, but let's say it's 2-3 weeks. Okay. Let's say it's 2 or 3 weekends. Yeah, going into spring break, I think it'll work. Look, I'm quite sure this is an experiment of sorts because they're trying to recreate the magic of Halloween Horror Nights, which they kind of own.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and do it in a different 6 months later.
I was just listening to the things that you say are the attractions. And I'm like, if you put this out in advertising, because you know what kids are going to say? The people who are going to want to go to this, they're going to say, that's us.
I would
hell
say,
is us.
Look, they may
no
say
cap.
They may say a lot of those things, but I think as someone who was 25 many years ago, last century, I would want to go to this if only because I know girls. Young women will be there. Yeah, that was the only point of my existence in my 20s.
I'm kind of thinking, and we talked about this before we went to the movies. It kind of sounds like a revamped City Walk.
I think that's an apt description.
I mean, maybe, but City Walk right now, as it stands, which is a late night venue that all the restaurants, it's not just about the movie theaters, all the restaurants, they have all these little late night attractions that are already at City Walk, and it does not pack the park out.
But you know why? And when I was going to City Walk in my late 20s and early 30s, back then it wasn't as heavily policed and patrolled it is now. Now they got, you have to be out. If you're not with an adult, you got to leave. You can't hang out. It's
curfews.
It's not the meeting spot that it once used to be. I was up at City Walk tough because there was a lot of talent walking around. And
there was a lot of talent.
I don't mean movie stars.
There was a lot of talent.
Yes. And you could hang out and there were a few spots that you could drink, but you could just meet young women in a place like that. I think it's more the same where, yes, you're going to pay some money to get in. I see the rationale behind this. Time will tell whether it's successful, but I get it. You have these properties that you own the rights to. Put them out there and see if it'll draw in an audience. And if it doesn't work, you won't do it next year.
I wish them the best because that place suffers mightily.
Well, there'll always be in Disneyland shadow. But, and I think we talked about this off air, they're not looking for the same clientele as Disney in the way that Magic Mountain wasn't looking for the same clientele as Disneyland. We're Universal Studios. We may not have the best titles, but we know who we are. That's why we do Halloween Horror Nights, because we're catering to a very specific segment and demographic that Disneyland does not. If you're 25 or something and you're coming out, maybe want to meet someone and drink a little bit, you're more inclined to go to Universal Studios than Disneyland.
No, that's where you'd be wrong. That is why Disneyland has an entire month-long activation of late-night events that Nick Kyle-Keeney talks about.
But I'm saying now. They are now trying, because they're trying to change the perception of Disney.
And we have talked about that. They're trying to get the downtown Disney crowd over to Disneyland proper.
Which means that wasn't the case prior to that.
But they have attractions that are for that demographic specifically.
Do they have a strip club? Do they have a strip club yet?
Damn near. From my understanding, that is what the LGBT night or LGBTQ plus IA night. Look, from my understanding, it's a wild time at Disneyland on that night.
Okay.
It's a wild time. Even the Star Wars night, there's a lot of Princess Leia outfits that night. It's a lot. It's going down. Even on the gospel night.
Okay, wait a minute. So they like Princess Leia with the bikini bras,
with the steel bra. Yeah, a lot of that out there. A lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of blue milk dripping all over the place.
I tell you, that was 1983. Return of the Jedi came out. So I'm 14. The height of my adolescence. The first time I saw Carrie Fisher in that steel bikini. My freaking goodness.
That must have been it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
That's what was under all that white robing that she was wearing? Go ahead, girl.
Those two buns of hair. Sexy. Oh, you stupid.
Something that's weird.
Sus.
Spooky.
Something that's weird.
Sus.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we're all adults here, and I need to make sure I make this admonition because there's some of us who sometimes refuse to acknowledge the seriousness of certain topics we discuss, Mark Runner. So I just want let everyone know that this is one of the times where I want to have a serious discussion about a serious medical issue. All right? Can we please?
Okay. I'm getting it out.
All right.
Got it out. Okay.
There's a man who has been experiencing extreme physical and mental distress. And you say, well, what's happening? Well, it seems each and every time that he may experience an orgasm, he has an adverse reaction to that. He has all sorts of symptoms, and he learned that he may have a rare disorder where he is, in fact, allergic to his own orgasms. Okay? Whether they're self-induced or whether they're participatory, does not matter. A 22-year-old man in the prime of his life. My goodness.
Oof.
Jeez.
That's rough.
He sought care after documenting that for years he experienced flu-like symptoms for several hours after the culmination of his experience. Let me put it that way.
Oh, my God.
He struggles with weakness, malaise, a runny nose, and itchy eyes.
Okay. All right. Hey, careful.
What?
I know where you're going with that, runny. All right.
His symptoms would begin about 2 to 3 hours after the culmination of the event. And by 8 to 10 hours, the symptoms would worsen, progressing to conjunctivitis, abdominal pain, other nonspecific muscle pain, and even cognitive impairment that he described as his brain not functioning. It's almost as if his body would shut down. And the episodes, according to the man, 22 years old, would last for days, 2 to 3 days, preventing him from going to work. And he had to avoid any and all sexual activity, which led to difficulties with relationships.
Was the initial culmination, was that at least good?
I don't get the sense it was, and it took him some time to make the connection
between the two.
Right. When he would finish and the symptoms would begin.
That could be like traumatic, honestly.
Oh, you're 22. I'm thinking about me as a 22-year-old. Yeah. There was only one thing important in life. Just one thing. Yep. Okay. And you're telling me at 22, I can't do that, or I will get sick to the point of
3 days.
I won't be able to go to work. I can't even mess around and have a moist dream.
I have felt, don't want to say this. Yes. Okay. Look,
careful. Just tread lightly.
There was a point not long ago. I was in a situation. I was in a relationship wherein anytime I was getting ready and we were beginning the act thereof of quote unquote making the love, I would experience and when I say extreme pain, just the mere stiffening I would feel like I was being kicked repeatedly in my nether regions to the point where I had to back away and double over in pain. I could not even reach the point that this meant. It was absolutely excruciating.
Did you see a doctor about that?
I did. I found out that my tubing was crisscrossed, and it was causing. No, almost though. What was happening is it was causing almost like reflux of the nether regions. It was almost like any fluid, any rushing.
Like a heartburn?
Almost, yeah. A heartburn in the scrotius area.
Heart.
In the scrotius.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, like, it felt like I was being punched by vicious MMA fighters.
Well, I learned something new about you, and I didn't really think I wanted to learn anything new about you. I likened it to being like the Incredible Hulk, who Banner had to avoid all sexual activity because he would turn into a green, raging, homicidal monster. And so he avoided all sexual activity. This sounds like that. You're 22 years old, and if you get even slightly aroused, you're on your way to putting yourself in the hospital. That's a horrible way to live.
It is. I feel for this individual. I really do.
I feel for him as well, because when you're 22, the thoughts are probably pretty frequent along those lines. And you're probably more inclined to want to date. Sexual activity is far more important in our 20s than maybe later on in life. I don't know how you would navigate that.
He's great for the monkhood, though.
Sure. Not the priesthood, but maybe the monkhood.
The monkhood.
That's a distinct difference.
Yeah. Where all that stuff is, you just forgive all that up. It's like, well, I'm not doing it anyway. I'm not trying to get sick.
Have you noticed that whenever we have these types of subjects that may hit a little too close to home, Mark has nothing to say?
I was waiting exactly for you to say that. Here I am thinking that there ought to be yellow police tape all around Tuala's lap. and you try to turn it to me. Tuala, your whole crotch is like a super fund site. And you want to turn
super fund site?
Look, I'm telling you, Mark, you're like, come on, let's go. Let's get on. You're like, oh my God. And here's the thing. The first time it happened, I thought she had done something unnecessarily freaky. And I was like, no, don't grab. What are you doing? I was in that much pain. I thought I was being squoze. Jesus, it was painful.
Lord.
Yeah, it's painful.
That almost makes me not want to mock you, but not quite.
Oh, I don't know. I can find some mocking in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have some base level of human decency, but not that much.
Look, I appreciate the candor that we are taking. This is actually much more serious than I
you're
thought.
The only one who's being...
You think we're helping somebody out there?
I mean...
You're the only one who's sharing anything. There's no weed. There's no candor amongst us.
I thought this was a safe space.
It is safe, but I'm saying you're the only one who's sharing anything. It's all you, dog. You're out there by yourself.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I can't relate. That particular is not my issue of my tubes feeling like they're tied.
What did it involve to get it fixed?
It did involve some correctional, a minor correctional procedure that was able to undo the tube ligation or whatever it was. Yeah, it was just it made the fluid flow freely, and so that way, upon culmination, it didn't feel like someone was kicking.
Okay, is it, to put it in the parlance of Donald Trump, they just turn on the valve?
Kind of. It was almost like instead of, imagine instead of,
I don't want to imagine.
Instead of fluid exiting, it was just rushing right back in and circulating, and almost like pop, 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 pop. It was almost like the fluid wouldn't go anywhere.
Sus.
It was no.
What do you want me to do? Comment?
I mean, I'm just saying, like that. That's what it was like. So yes, it was like they
you were backed up. Okay, we got it.
No, I've got to treat him as a hostile witness here. You say minor minor corrective procedure. That could be anything from a flick to surgery. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, no. It was
the thumb and forefinger.
It was like a slight teeny little incision, very, very small incision, very small. Yeah. And it was just kind of like moving the thing around, moving stuff around.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it was good. It's fine.
I'm just going to let that silence hang out there.
It's fine.
Were you under for this?
KFI AM 640.
I want answers.
We're live everywhere to iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, before we get out of here, just want to let you know, tomorrow on the show, I'll be joined by Shannon Farron. She's going to impart some of her vast football knowledge ahead of El Partido Gigante Este domingo tengo que practicar mi español. Más practicando es mejor.
It's pretty good.
It's a CSC.
You double down on the avoiding the name. I like that.
Look, I'll just say this. We got this email at work today saying that we can't say the name of the event on Sunday because of trademark. And that's not really true, but I'm not going to argue with the big bosses, whatever. So it's El Partido Gigante. El Partido Gigante. Now for my final thought, which is kind of along those lines. There is this big sporting event coming up on Sunday, El Partido Gigante. You might be going to a party, or you might stay home and host a party, or maybe you're just going to watch it alone. I've been known to do that over the years. Whatever you plan to do to take it in, I'm assuming you're going to do it first and foremost to enjoy it, I would hope. If not, you're really weird. You're really strange. I don't hate watch or hate listen to anything. I don't spend 1 minute watching or listening to entertainment for the purpose of getting myself angry. But I know a lot of people who do hate watch. A lot. Which is also strange. But like the song said, people are strange. So tonight before we go, I'm just going to leave you with what I call enjoyment advice. You got two teams representing Pennsylvania and Missouri, and they're squaring off for a football championship, El Partido Gigante. The game will be part of sports history forever, no matter what. Something great will happen. Somebody will do something likely spectacular along the way, and interspersed between the great moments will be some funny and some not very funny commercials. This is my recommendation, and I think Mark Ronner would agree. Have a drink, or two, or maybe even 8. And enjoy all those moments in between. Try not to stroke out over hearing Lift Every Voice and Sing before the game because it offends your political sensibilities. And I know you can do it because you didn't stroke out last year when it was also played, or the year before that when it was also played. So I know you'll survive this year. It's not new. Don't act brand new. Don't have a conniption either because the camera happened to show President Trump or Taylor Swift. They'll both be in attendance at El Partido Gigante. Why? Because it's a TV event. Famous people show up to big events and often end up on the Jumbotron or part of the event coverage. This ain't new. It happens. Don't act like it's something new. Don't be brand new. Just be like me. Just be like Mark. Sip your liquor and enjoy the show. Hug your dog or cat. Enjoy your buzz. Hell, you might even get some before the night is over if you play your cards right. Nobody likes an angry ass drunk. Nobody. So, before the night is over, make sure you enjoy the game, El Partido Gigante. Enjoy your liquor. Enjoy your special loved one who may be there with you. Because there's no reason to get worked up about stuff having nothing to do with a game in which you don't get any money from a championship ring or any portion of the proceeds from the sale of any of the products in the commercials. You might as well just watch the game and ignore the rest because that's what sane people do. That's what we all used to do. And that's what I am going to do because that way I win no matter the score. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We follow the news. You follow us. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles.
Orange County.
Live